the news tonight, the House of Representatives passes the draft election law to the Senate for ratification, having ended a debate of its provisions, with the next House consisting of 130 seats. John Kerry says if the fighting does not stop in Syria, it would be hard to hold the country together, adding that the United States will know within days if a cessation of hostilities will work. And Queen Rania received in Dubai the Mohammed bin Rashid Medal of Honor for Women in appreciation of her efforts as a champion for women's empowerment. Good evening and welcome to a new edition of the news. Here are the details. His Majesty the King left Amman for a working visit to the United States to hold talks with U.S. President Barack Obama. The summit meeting between His Majesty and Obama focuses on the strategic partnership between the two countries, as well as regional and international efforts to fight terrorism. The talks will also tackle efforts to reach a solution to the Syria crisis and the stalemate in the Palestinian-Israeli peace process, leading to the progress towards a two-state solution. His Royal Highness Prince Faisal bin Al-Hussein was sworn in as regent in the presence of cabinet members. The House of Representatives passed the 2016 draft election law to the Senate after ending a debate of its provisions, which began on Sunday. The session convened in the presence of the Prime Minister and cabinet members. The draft law divides the kingdom into 23 electoral constituencies, one for each of the 12 governorates, while Amman was split into 5 constituencies, Irbid into 4 and Zarqa into 2. The northern, central and southern Badia regions are considered as 3 separate governorates. Under the draft law, 115 seats are assigned for the constituencies and 15 for a women's quota, with 1 woman's seat for each governorate. The draft law, along with the House's report on the debate, is now on the Senate's table for ratification. Over to Syria, and fighting continues to rage around Aleppo city as Daesh is reported to have tightened its grip on a supply route the Syrian army is battling to retake. Daesh assault has targeted a desert road which the Syrian army has been forced to use to reach Aleppo because rebels still control the main highway. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said Daesh had seized the village of Khanasir on the road, which remains closed for a second day. But the Syrian military says it is continuing to repel the attack. A U.S.-Russian statement said the two countries and others would work together to delineate the territory held by Daesh, Nusra Front and other militant groups excluded from a truce or halt of operations agreed by the United States and Russia. A coordination center to facilitate talks between opposing parties in the Syria conflict has opened in Syria, said a statement by the Russian Defense Ministry. The center is at Russia's Hmeimim air base in the Latakia province. Russian news agencies quoted the ministry's spokesman as saying that in accordance with the Russian-American agreements from February 22nd on the cessation of hostilities in Syria to implement a monitoring mechanism for the ceasefire, a coordination center has been opened for the reconciliation of warring parties. The spokesman said the center's purpose is to facilitate talks between the Syrian government and opposition representatives, excluding Daesh and the Nusra Front. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said Syrian President Bashar al-Assad must go in order for Syria's transition to be successful. In the wide-ranging hearing before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Kerry said the United States will know within days if a proposed cessation of hostilities due to begin on Saturday will take hold, and if a political transition does not unfold in Syria, there is Plan B option. Kerry said it would be a mistake for Russia or any other party to the Syria cessation of hostilities agreement to violate the deal, insisting there would be consequences. He also warned it would be hard to hold the country together if the fighting does not stop.
Now, if it's real and really happening, that could move. If it isn't, as I said earlier, we will know. If they're stalling, if there's an absolute stonewall, if there's no progress, if nothing happens, it's going to be very hard to keep people at the table. I have no illusions about that. There are people who will say this is a farce and they'll walk away. So I think we're going to see very quickly whether or not countries are serious about this transition and whether or not Assad is serious about it.
Just a while ago, a statement by the French presidency said the leaders of France, the United States, Britain and Germany hope a deal on ending hostilities in Syria can take effect soon, and stressed the need for urgent measures to end the humanitarian crisis in the country. The statement was issued after French President François Hollande had spoken with US President Barack Obama, British Prime Minister David Cameron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Meanwhile, and in the US-led coalition's war on Daesh, allied military forces conducted 26 strikes against the terrorist group in Iraq and Syria since yesterday. The coalition leading the operation said in a statement that 11 strikes were conducted in Syria using ground attack and fighter aircraft against Daesh. Targets included 6 gas and oil separation plant wellheads near Deir ez-Zor. And in Iraq, coalition forces conducted 15 strikes using fighter aircraft against Daesh targets, according to the statements. Here at home, 83 additional Syrian refugees were ushered into the kingdom during the past 48 hours. Border guards and medical services provided the new refugees with urgent assistance before they were escorted to their respective shelters and camps. Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry warned its citizens against travel to Lebanon and urged those present to leave for their own safety. The Saudi kingdom has issued several previous warnings about security in Lebanon, and the statement comes at a sensitive time in the two countries' diplomatic relationship. Last week, Saudi Arabia said it was suspending aid to the Lebanese army in response to Lebanon's failure to condemn attacks by Iranian protesters on Saudi diplomatic missions last month. The United Arab Emirates also announced today that it was banning its citizens from traveling to Lebanon and reducing its diplomatic mission there, according to a statement by the Foreign and International Cooperation Ministry. Her Majesty Queen Rania received in Dubai the Mohammed bin Rashid Medal of Honor for Women in appreciation of her efforts as a champion for women's empowerment. Queen Rania received the award at the Global Women's Forum, where she delivered a keynote address urging for change in Arab societies as a result of the infiltration of extremist ideologies, which she said are trying to throw us centuries behind. She said there is a dire need for the Arab world to catch up with global trends, noting that this would require knowledgeable and ambitious women who can stand strong and help the societies realize their full potential. Queen Rania highlighted the breakthroughs the UAE has achieved thanks to the vision of its leadership, adding there's no better place than the UAE to inspire participants to innovate, innovation being the tool for change. U.S. stocks were lower at the open today, struggling to sustain a rally yet again after oil prices resumed their declines. Crude prices fell more than 4% after the Saudi oil minister ruled out any production cuts. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.29%, the S&P 500 lost 0.34%, and the Nasdaq Composite Index dropped 0.46%. The steep fall in oil prices is starting to hurt other sectors, with banks bracing for a wave of potential defaults from energy companies. U.S. confectionery giant Mars has recalled chocolate bars and other products in 55 countries, mainly in Europe, after bits of plastic were found in a Snickers bar in Germany. All of the recalled products, which include Mars, Snickers, Milky Way, Celebrations and Mini Mix, were manufactured at a Dutch factory in Veghel. The recall follows a complaint in early January from a consumer in Germany saying she found red plastic in a Snickers bar and sent it back to the company. The recall affected products with best before dates ranging from June 19, 2016 to January 8, 2017. Because Mars cannot guarantee there is no plastic in other products made at the factory, it is recalling everything made at Veghel factory during a specific period. To fashion, but not any fashion, the U.S. presidential fashion. Red tie or blue tie, dress or pantsuit. What message are the 2016 candidates sending to voters with their fashion choices? From Hillary Clinton's pantsuits to Ted Cruz's ostrich skin cowboy boots, Donald Trump's Make America Great Again baseball caps, and Mark Rubio's half-zip sweaters are all fair game for the fashion police. It's a fact of modern political life that a candidate's style choices will be critiqued as much as his or her policies. But style experts say the candidate's choices are no accident, as every fashion decision, or even the decision not to follow fashion trends at all, is carefully considered. Here's one expert's take on some of the candidates' looks.
Hillary Clinton is embracing a variety of colors now, and I don't know who's advising her to have bright tones. Jewel tones, obviously. Jewel tones are typically considered a more executive look for a woman. Bernie Sanders often will look like that, that sweet professor from, a little eccentric, and his hair will be a bit mussed. But it just shows, his energy of that moment, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's really wanting to be so dramatic of the moment. We will rarely see Donald Trump in casual wear, but his idea of casual wear is not blue jeans type of look, because that's not his lifestyle. It's not it's not reality for him. The golf course is reality for him. Ted Cruz will often be seen in blue jeans, boots, the cowboy belt. Now, what people don't understand when they see those pictures out of context is that often they are at a barbecue, at an event that's very casual. He is also saying, "I'm from Texas."
And to London and the catwalk fashion. On day 4 of London Fashion Week, Burberry showcased its Autumn-Winter 2016 collection, featuring navy military-inspired overcoats with red piping, sequined mini dresses and biker boots as patchwork. There were midi-length glittery tea dresses, hand-sewn sequin florals on caped silk blouses, khaki parkas with fur collars, and oversized brush-played mohair coats worn over spangly frocks. The brand signature trench coat came in colored python as well as shiny patent black, whilst down-filled jackets were kept trim with belted waists and sheepskin collars. The brand is pioneering a new approach to the way it presents shows, and as of September, it will move to a catwalk straight-to-consumer model, with the collection shown at the next London Fashion Week being available to buy immediately. Thomas Berdych eased into the second round of the Dubai Open with a straight sets win over João Sousa. The third seas Czech had a comfortable 6-1, 6-4 win over Sousa of Portugal. Berdych broke the opening service game of the 36th-ranked Sousa and quickly wrapped up the set after another service break in the sixth game to take it in just 23 minutes. Berdych completed his win in 70 minutes to set up an encounter in the second round with Thomas Fabiano of Italy, who earlier beat Leonardo Meyer of Argentina.
6-1, 6-4.
With only 3 days left for the FIFA elections, organizers in Zurich are making final preparations. Delegates will first debate and vote on a wide-ranging schedule of reforms to soccer's world governing body, and then a new president will be elected, replacing Sepp Blatter. 5 candidates are standing in the FIFA presidential elections: His Royal Highness Prince Ali ibn al-Hussein, Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa of Bahrain, Jerome Champagne of France, Gianni Infantino of Italy, and Tokyo Sekhwale of South Africa. And finally, for a quick look at the weather. Low temperatures prevail for the rest of tonight, with a continued chance for scattered showers accompanied by light variable winds. Tomorrow there will be a slight rise in temperatures, but it remains relatively cold with partly cloudy skies in most regions. In the Gulf of Aqaba, it will be warm with a high of 25 degrees Celsius, while winds will be northerly moderate and the seas slightly high. We now look at temperatures forecast for tonight and tomorrow. And to close, here's a reminder of the day's top stories. The House of Representatives passes the draft election law to the Senate for ratification, having ended a debate of its provisions, with the next House consisting of 130 seats. John Kerry says if the fighting does not stop in Syria, it would be hard to hold the country together, adding that the United States will know within days if a cessation of hostilities will work. And Queen Rania received in Dubai the Mohammed bin Rashid Medal of Honor for Women in appreciation of her efforts as a champion for women's empowerment. And with this, we come to the end of this edition of the news. I'm Alia Tuqan. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.